It's a privilege to be here representing FEPS. Normally, my friend and colleague Matthew Mayall had come here before, and he was always quite full of praise of TASC. But it's a privilege for me to come here as I was the only Irish staff member to come and visit our partner in Dublin. But I was asked to give a sort of a commentary on what FEPS actually does, because people aren't always so familiar. One of our goals is to create a political space within Europe and to bridge the gap between this space and those which are already in operation within the member states. And Mathieu, in his time in FEPS, developed a large pool of heterodox economists who try to work with organisations such as TASC, who are ploughing a lonely furrow sometimes within the member states. Now, I'm in the awkward position of people having said some of the things I intended to say in the last couple of comments, but I noticed that Sean Healy mentioned narrative quite a lot. And one of the things we come up against in FEPS through the various departments, because we work in a number of policy areas, is that there has been this separation between the whole areas of politics, economics and society. I know the Irish President, Michael D. Higgins, has fought on this for about 30 years. So in FEPS we tried to create a holistic approach on a number of levels. Today we talked about inequality from the perspectives of region, state and the European level itself, but also from gender and intergenerational perspectives, social class and region. And it brings together perspectives of academics, civil society, NGOs, etc. So it's a big job to try and bring all these things together, and that's why FEPS tries to cooperate with organisations such as TASC in our perceived mission. But we'll just jump on one thing that came up a number of times today, that this is often a political challenge, and it was political decisions that led us to the mire we're in now, and it has political consequences. George Irvin earlier on commented on the prevalence of lobbying in the modern political sphere. And a couple of months ago, I happened to see a speech of the former Greek Prime Minister George Papandreou. He knows from bitter experience the interaction between a somewhat malign tendency within the private sector and the public life of his country. But he quoted some statistics which I don't have to hand at the moment, but that the financial sector has found more financial benefit of investing within politics than in the financial sector itself. And this is quite an alarming thing to think, that our political system can be held hostage. And when we look at the interlinkage between European political life and national politics, we also see that something that's a European problem is often held hostage by electoral expediency within the member states. So we see Angela Merkel constantly thinking about the impending elections, or prior to the French elections, Nicolas Sarkozy going for the lowest common denominator in terms of attitudes to immigration or the Schengen system and things like this. And the consequences have been also quite evident. The rise of far-right populism in Finland, the Netherlands, in France, and the more extreme variant within Greece itself. The interlinkage is evident for us to see. So this is the basis of FEPS as an organisation, that nothing happens in isolation. Decisions made in Brussels are not far removed at all from the effects and the further decisions made in Dublin or Berlin or Madrid or what have you. So this is part of our raison d'être to link geographical, regional, and all these other elements, and as in effect bridge the gap between the somewhat far removed institutions of Brussels and the citizens of Europe throughout its member states. Thank you.